Congratulate the whole team, cause when you riding like we riding with each other, ain't no hiding this. Tell them line it up, like a 4th and 1, we sneaky when we slide them. Y'all on offense with no defense, now y'all time is up. We make the hits, y'all take the hits, and now we fired up. 3, 2, 1, don't need no break. Hut 1, hut 2, give it straight, that's how I like it. And we grind it every night to make it hit, now it's exciting. See, they just getting cake, they ain't never gonna get no ice. And all we want is chips, ring fingers looking ice. My day ones had to dance at the beginning, so you know it's only right, that's how we end it. Came all the way from losing to winning, yeah I did it. But it ain't just me, it's the whole team. Share it with the whole team. Congratulate the whole team, cause when you riding like we riding with each other, ain't no hiding this. It's the whole team. Share it with the whole team. Congratulate the whole team, cause when you riding like we riding with each other, ain't no hiding this. See, we came up from the bottom, me and squad got it. And we made it through them problems, now it's God body. We eat, sleep, breathe this, wave till they see sick. Do it right the first time, they all try to remix. Yeah, they grinded, but we grinded different. Tell them they time is ticking, but we time a fish. Bet not leave a minute, stop it. Something like the goat off in that pocket. Whole squizzy riding with me, who gon' stop it? My day ones had to dance at the beginning, so you know it's only right, that's how we end it. Came all the way from losing to winning, yeah I did it. But it ain't just me, it's the whole team. Share it with the whole team. Congratulate the whole team, cause when you riding like we riding with each other, ain't no hiding this. It's the whole team. Share it with the whole team. Congratulate the whole team, cause when you riding like we riding with each other, ain't no hiding this.
Sports coverage of the National Football League is in uptown Charlotte, North Carolina at Bank of America Stadium. Coming up, a rematch of Super Bowl 50 between the Denver Broncos and the Carolina Panthers. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's Wilson to throw right away. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Gotta give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Wilson. And his throw is incomplete.
Anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. They'll test the perimeter. At that time, they're up to the challenge.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Here's Wilson. Man open. He's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Cortland Sutton, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Broncos need just 3 plays to go down and take the early lead. Extra point from McManus is good. And it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this a very, very short kick. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Mayfield and the Panthers now with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. They start on the ground with McCaffrey, and he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33. This defense for the Broncos, they played really well in the win over the Raiders a week ago.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Charles, already trailing by a touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. Good coverage there. An even 50-yard punt leads to a return of 5. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December.
More football.
We're only in November, but they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs. And now off to the races, down the right side, past the 20, and all the way home for a Broncos score. K.J. Hamler, 82 yards. And the Broncos are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. McManus's point after is good, and it's now 14-0. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And they're going to have good starting field position. He's out of bounds, but not before he's across the 35. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And, Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days. Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner, they can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in.
I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Mayfield. He'll find his man, Terrace Marshall, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Run, run, run. Hey, alert 33.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now, because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
And now on third down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. To throw, Mayfield. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
And this won't get there. Won't be online either. It's no good. Off to the right, and this will remain a 2-touchdown game. That would have been from way downtown. Pretty big roll of the dice, and he comes up a bit short.
Yeah, you knew when you saw the holder setting up on the other side of the 50 that this was going to be a long shot. But to me, there's really no loss here because you've shown confidence in him. Kicking it from a long distance, that'll pay dividends. And the miss, you can shake that one off. It wasn't likely to make it in the first place.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. He's got a man complete. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Boy, still in the first quarter, and look out. I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly would be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? I'm glad we're here to actually watch and see if it actually happens, although, like you, I have my doubts, but they are firmly in control of this game.
So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. From the 6. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. A give running left, it's McCaffrey. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And out will come the offense as they take over.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
And Charles, they're really stringing these possessions and scores together early. We're still in the 1st quarter, but if they can score again here, look out.
Yeah, and as you taught me when we're broadcasting,
he's got a man, complete.
And they'll work this down inside the 30.
boy, they've definitely come out of the gate smoking here in the 1st quarter. Whatever they've tried to run has worked, and there's another example right there. Game plan is one thing, but how about his accuracy? It's been exceptional.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. To throw is Wilson. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle 3rd of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. It's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the 1st quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Wilson.
And this is taken in by Hamler for a Bronco touchdown.
Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Extra point from McManus is good, and the route is on here in this 1st half.
So this not what we expected. 28-0 here in the 1st as another kickoff is away.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They've got to be absolutely reeling right now. Couldn't have expected to be down this big this early, but that's the spot they're in as they come up to try again here. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
2nd down and right back to McCaffrey. And he'll get a couple up to the 29.
2 yards on the 1st down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the 2nd down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on third down. Mayfield now. And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. And he is going to have the Panthers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. Looking for Marshall, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And he'll get this back across the midfield, striping down to the 47-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right, it felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Wilson steps away to his left, and he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Well, sometimes the defense just beats you. Great coverage from the secondary, all of them in the proper position. So instead of trying to throw into tight coverage, he found a way to throw it away and come back and try again the next down.
They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. So following the run by Gordon, here's 1st and 10.
Hey, zero. 36 foul. Good.
From the gun, it's Wilson. He'll get that complete to Alberto. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. 15 yards down to the 15 and a first down.
And I feel a little bit like a traitor as a former defender because that big man did not want to go down and refused to go down. If you're a defender and you don't get the right angle on a big tight end like him, he can run right through you like you're not even there, and he did a lot of that.
Yeah, this is caught by Sutton. Touchdown Broncos. A great effort there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Broncos continue to pull away here in this first half. McManus's point after is good. And the route is on here in this first half. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
And still in the first half here, a long way to go. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left. Throwing, Mayfield. And he rifles one incomplete.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series before you get out there. Hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
The Panthers on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again.
And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They go play action. Mayfield.
He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey. And a nice job to break free of 1 tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after.
They'll give him 4 yards there, and it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
All right, help me out here a little bit, partner, because what I'm seeing is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well, so give some credit to the defense.
Fourth down, Mayfield. Oh, hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out, and the Broncos are going to get the football back in great field position. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down.
He'll get this to Hamler over the middle. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
On 1st down, Wilson.
And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
Definitely worth taking a deep shot here. He's already found the end zone twice here in the first half.
Yeah, go back to that same well. They've had trouble containing him, but able to contain him on that play. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now it's Wilson. This is caught. Touchdown. K.J. Hamler on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns.
And the Broncos have taken a 6-touchdown lead.
Extra point from McManus is good, and it is 42-0. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive.
As this offense gets ready here for this drive, Charles, you still wonder about that prior drive. Went for it on 4th down in their own territory, didn't get it, and then that led to a touchdown on the other side.
And I don't mind the aggressiveness. In fact, I'm usually a huge fan of it. But I just want teams to always weigh risk and reward. To me, too early in this game because the reward just wasn't big enough to go for it there in case they failed. Now the pressure back on their offense to pick themselves up and negate the touchdown that was just given up.
Hurry, hurry!
Another run with McCaffrey on 2nd down. And he powers his way up past the 30.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
The Panthers on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 4. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. Mayfield looks to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. McManus now for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Second down and 7. McCaffrey running up the middle. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Third down, here's McCaffrey. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
Mayfield to throw for it on fourth. That's complete out right to the tight end, Trimble. And he is going to have a Broncos first down as he gets a little more than he needed. 4 yards to pick up there on 4th and 2.
So they give it up just on their side of midfield. And, yeah, I mean, a surprising decision there to go for that.
Must have a lot of confidence in his defense. Must feel like, hey, we're in great shape here because our defense can hold them because they're really outside of field goal range now. All right, the opposite team. So if you hold them here, you haven't given up any points. You may give up a punt and you're pinned down a little bit, but must have thought it was an okay spot to go for it and decided to be aggressive.
And that's good for a gain of 6, and that'll bring up second down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing is Wilson. That's going to be caught. Touchdown Broncos. Jerry Jeudy as the first half is winding down. And the Broncos will extend their lead here just before halftime. McManus's point after is good, and the route is on here in this first half. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Taking a shot here for Marshall. And got his man complete. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. Final play of the half, Mayfield. He's got it for a Panther touchdown. Terrace Marshall as time expires in the first half. And the Panthers are on the board here in the final seconds of the first half. You knew time was going to run out, so this had to be in the end zone, and somehow they were able to find a window and get it done.
Very easy for us to talk about up here that, yes, all that had to happen. But when time's running down, sometimes your brain compresses a little bit too. They showed great poise, understanding of situation, making sure they got to the end zone in order to complete that pass and take a nice momentum into the locker room.
And now this throw incomplete, and that is how this first half will come to an end. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Panthers going to get the football first, trailing here as well as we resume play in this second half. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster in the first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely. But you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards.
Well, the margin on that scoreboard, obviously, for them, it looks daunting. But I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And what they have to be careful of is getting glued to that scoreboard, trying to do too much. Because if you do that, you're all but guaranteed to start making mistakes. Just focus on one play at a time and make each one successful.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Hurry, hurry! King!
Mayfield to throw it. He's got a man. That's Marshall. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game, because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long. But a nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
Mayfield now looking to throw on first down.
And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far.
Picked off by Justin Simmons.
And the Broncos are going to take over at their own 28-yard line.
So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in, coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
Hey, 0-0-0.
After the interception, here's Wilson. And his throw here's incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. Here's Wilson. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down.
Brandon Smith with a nice rush to get him down.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for third and long. Following the penalty, here's Gordon. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. They had quite a hole to dig out of there on 3rd and long. Not able to get the first, but a pretty good size run.
A really good run, but how much confidence do you have in your next play call that you can sell to the head coach? Let's go get it on 4th down. Do you really have a play you believe in, or are you just hopeful? And you've got to sell it to the big man before it gets called.
Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10.
Mayfield and the Panthers now with a 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line.
Run.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
He'll find his man, Laviska Shenault.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
Mayfield on 1st down. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And this one is incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
2nd and 10 now, 3rd quarter from Charlotte.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Quan Williams. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown.
Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead. And it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive.
Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Alert! Real.
To throw, Mayfield. And that's complete to the right side. It's Marshall.
On the move past the 40. Down the right sideline.
Touchdown, Panthers.
Terrace Marshall.
His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year.
And the Panthers are able to eat in just a bit to this sizable deficit. Riley Patterson now for the extra point.
So they get one score back, but still a long ways to go here in this 3rd quarter. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
At their own 24
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
Still comfortably on top, third quarter, as they start things here with a 1st and 10.
Now Wilson. This will be caught. Judy. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a 1st down.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
14.
They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson.
Right back to Judy, and it's complete.
Now he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
Well, those backups on the sideline, they got to be eagerly anticipating the 4th quarter upcoming. Look at the size of the lead, how they're moving the football. This defense really struggling and giving up plays like we just saw.
Yeah, his Stars have certainly done all they've needed to in this one, haven't they? But my question is, will he be able to resist the urge to continue to run things up a bit and get his main guys a few bonus stats before he calls them off the field?
And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
That's the 3rd time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going. And right now, it's paying off with big chunks of yardage, as shown by that last play.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on 1st down.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Here's a give up the middle. It's good. A tough run gets him just inside the 10 to the 9, but no further. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Now it's Wilson. Being chased out left. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here.
That is certainly one way to frustrate a quarterback. Run those extra defenders on the field. Dime package, lots of speed, no space to fit into football.
4th down, Wilson trots off, and on comes Brandon McManus for the Denver field goal.
From the right hash here, should be an easy one. The kick by McManus is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So tack on 3 more, though it's just a rare drive where they did not find the end zone.
Yeah, you're right about that, partner, but at this point, I don't think you're too concerned about that. You just want to possess the football for a while and drain the clock. If you can get 3 out of it, that's great too.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now Mayfield. And he's going to lose yardage here, as they will switch ends as time has run out on this 3rd quarter of play. And we're back now in Charlotte. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. The job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Here's Mayfield. For Marshall, that's complete. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 42. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Now, this is certainly one of the bigger losses that we are going to see for quite some time. And you have to think at this point where we're at in the fourth quarter with how wide this advantage is. For this offense, they're just trying to end things with a positive drive and then get the heck out of here.
Yeah, if this had been a concert, you would have heard plenty of sour notes in this one. But they certainly don't want to end it on one. They want to put together a few more throws like that and at least have a final drive to give them a little bit more hope as they move forward.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 42-yard line. From the gun, Mayfield. This is Chenault on the receiving end. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not...
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And the Broncos are going to get the football here at their own 23. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. Dancing to his left. He's got him in. Complete. 20, 10, 5, touchdown. Cortland Sutton, 77 yards. And the Broncos are about to make it 4 straight as they add to this fourth quarter advantage. Extra point from McManus is good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Now this, a very short kick. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one, though probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Hey, alert 33.
Mayfield. He's got a man on the crossing route. That's more. It's another first down on what will be a gain of 21 yards. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone.
Touchdown, Panthers.
Terrace Marshall.
32 yards.
And the Panthers get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit. So still throwing here in the fourth quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
Now they're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Up huge on the scoreboard, and they're still trying to add to their total. That shot doesn't connect, but I don't think it'll dissuade them from attempting another one.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Wilson. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack.
Yetur Gross-Matos.
He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
It's 3rd and long now for Wilson and the Broncos after that sack.
Looking to throw. Wilson. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Brian Burns, he's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks brings up 4th down. The Broncos send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fielded at about the 28. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A big pickup of 38.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Up the gut, McCaffrey. And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
No daylight for him to run through there, and he ran into the defensive tackle, and that guy blocks a whole lot of daylight as it is. He is truly a big man who just made a big play.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss.
Alert, 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 alert. Real. King.
Throwing, Mayfield. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big.
Well, CD, they just haven't had a whole lot to cheer about or really grasp onto in this game. They've been dominated, but at least they get a late touchdown here, something positive to put on film for tomorrow's session.
Yeah, they're still trying to execute, trying to get some positives on their board and ledger sheet. and keep this from being a total loss. Give them credit. They're going down fighting.
Extra point by Patterson, up and good, as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. The Carolina kick team is out there ready to go, and they kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And it would seem as if their 3-game winning streak is about to go to 4, but still a little work to do as they start 1st and 10. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 44 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
A good run there off right tackle in an old school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
Wilson wants to throw it. A throw left side, hauled in by Hamler. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Now Wilson. This is Hamler on the receiving end. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Here's Wilson to throw. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. McManus's point after is good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, this...
And that's caught inside the 35. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but This one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Patterson now for the extra point.
And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play.
Next to score, Broncos 80, Panthers 34.
The Carolina kick team is out there ready to go, and they kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
Well, they came into this one with a vision, Charles, and it has played out exactly as they had hoped, if not even better. They've got the huge lead here, and now the football for the final moments of the fourth.
Yeah, and it was apparent that they were the better team, right? We figured that out pretty early. But give them a lot of credit for staying with it. They didn't stumble around out there. They didn't create a lot of errors for themselves because they were the superior team. They took care of business and closed them out pretty quickly.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Solid gain of 18 yards and a Denver first down.
Partner, I know we're still in the afternoon slate here. Some primetime games still on the docket, but it's going to be tough to top this effort. What an offensive performance we have seen. They have been unstoppable from the moment we began this game, and they're not holding back. They're still throwing the football here in the fourth.
They certainly are.
And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline.
No let up in this passing game. They've been a well-oiled machine throughout. And I actually saw a few guys on the sidelines at the end of the third quarter doing the old hold up four fingers college sign, meaning the fourth quarter is ours. And they certainly weren't kidding.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago. And you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So for the Broncos, they keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 8-3 on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Meanwhile, for the Panthers, it's a tough one to swallow as they drop back to 8-4 on the year. And they'll get the extra week to think about this one as they return to action in 2 weeks' time.
I'm really out for blood this time. Look. I just came back for the win. Lot of new money in my hand. Gonna tell a friend. They say success is the best revenge. Heard they were sleeping again, say it no more. This is a rude awakening, kicking the door. Fact that I'm better than ever before. Don't get it mistaken, I'm ready for war. I see the option, I'm up in the score. I catch a and jump in the pause. Follow the core and the back to the morgue. Take the sheet off and I some more. When I am done at the scene, I won't leave anything. You won't even know who is involved. Don't let me do it, cause I overdo it and do it till I cannot do it no more. All of the dallas, I'm proving them all. Back with the classic, I know it's been long. Heard it was missing me while I was gone. I smell the victory back up on time, and it's where I belong. Like it ain't to me, we making history. Fall through the misery, weather the storm. Can't let them get to me, no weapon form should prosper. Be all over my roster, I got options. I keep it right on the dresser, next to the Oscar. Applying pressure, somebody stop us. Applying pressure, somebody stop us. Running my closet, go need a doctor, go need a doctor, go need a what? I just came back for the win. Lot of new money in my hand. Gonna tell a friend. They say success is the best revenge. I just came back for the win. Lot of new money in my hand. Gonna tell a friend. They say success is the best revenge. So now they on my body. Made it to the top. Ain't no way that they can stop me now. They gon' say I joined the Illuminati. I got demons all around me. Tell me what they know about me. I just came back for the win. Lot of new money in my hand. Gonna tell a friend, tell a friend. They say success is the best revenge. I just came back for the win. Lot of new money in my hand. Gonna tell a friend, tell a friend. They say success is the best revenge.
It's that hate, boy.
Yeah, my day ones here to dance at the beginning. So you know it's only right, that's how we end it. Came all the way from losing to winning. Yeah, I did it. But it ain't just me, it's the whole team. Share it with the whole team. Congratulate the whole team. Cause when you riding like we riding with each other, ain't no I in this. It's the whole team. Share it with the whole team. Congratulate the whole team. Cause when you riding like we riding with each other, ain't no I in this. Tell them line it up. Like a 4th and 1, we sneaky when we slide them. Yellow offense with no defense, now y'all time is up. We make the hits, y'all take the hits, and now we fired up. 3, 2, 1, don't need no break. Hut 1, hut 2, get it straight, that's how I like it. And we grind it every night to make it hit, now it's exciting. See, they just getting cake, they ain't never gonna get no ice. And all we want is chips, ring fingers looking ice. My day ones here to dance at the beginning. So you know it's only right, that's how we end it. Came all the way from losing to winning. Yeah, I did it. But it ain't just me, it's the whole team. Share it with the whole team. Congratulate the whole team. Cause when you riding like we riding with each other, ain't no I in this. It's the whole team. Share it with the whole team. Congratulate the whole team. Cause when you ride